So in this week's Torah portion, we have the idea of Tzaras, which they call the leprosy. It's not exactly that. It's some kind of rash a person gets on themselves, or they can get it on their stuff, or they can get it in their beard, on their clothing, on their house. And I find it to be one of the most fascinating parts of the Torah. Why? Because it is a physical manifestation of something spiritual that's going on in one's life. What happens? A person is either arrogant and stingy and doesn't lend things to people. A person talks horrible or in a disgraceful manner, in a derogatory fashion about somebody else. And then the response to that is that they get a physical blemish. How powerful is that? Right? To imagine, we don't have this nowadays in the same way. That somebody could go ahead and have such an awareness or such a clarity or such a connection with their spirituality that when they do something physical, right? When they do something, some sort of sin, then there is which would be very spiritual, there ends up being a physical manifestation of it. A physical disease that they get. A blemish comes upon them when they did something that was not okay in the spiritual world. This is so phenomenal. We just don't have this blessing in our world today. That same level of hashgacha pratis, the same level of awareness and relationship, clarity with God and clarity with our Judaism. We don't have it nowadays. It just doesn't exist in that same fashion. Can you imagine if we could be so aware? Now, that could be an excuse. Hey, look, this is the world today. We don't have that same level of clarity. Or we can try to be more aware. We can try to be more consistent, more mindful, perhaps more tuned in to the actions and things that we do, so that we're more aware of the realities of our spirituality. But that means that we need to study Torah about it, listen to classes and podcasts, and there's so many amazing opportunities out there for doing so, for learning more about our Judaism, learning more about the Torah, learning about the mitzvos, and learning about Hashem, and learning about our relationship with God. So this is just a reminder for us, this idea of leprosy, of Tzaras, that, hey, wait, our world is not the way it needs to be ultimately. And that's not an excuse. That's a fact we got to deal with. Just like the fact that the AC is broken in my office, so I'm dripping sweat. Isn't that's the fact. So I got a fan going, and I got to deal with that. I got to plan my meetings differently. Maybe I should have planned this video differently so I'm not dripping sweat while I'm doing it. But these are the realities. It's a fact of life. We're not as aware as we used to be about our Judaism, about our spirituality, about what kind of impact we make on the world when we do something right or wrong. So this is an extremely powerful, meaningful, perhaps daunting lesson taken from this week's Torah portion. May we merit to have an awareness, to be acutely aware and connected to the world of spirituality, to the world of Judaism, to the world of Torah, to the world of mitzvos and sins, and recognize that what we do really does make a difference. We can change our lives. We can change those around us, their lives. We can change the whole world. There's so much chaos going on out there. When we do something appropriate, powerful, awesome, amazing, we impact the world in a positive way. When we do something, God forbid, that we're not supposed to be doing, we really impact the world physically in a negative fashion. So let's recognize how awesome, how powerful, how amazing we are, and just how much of an impact we can have on the world. Have an amazing Shabbos. Have a meaningful Sephiras Omer counting of the Omer. That's why the beard's here. Look forward to seeing you next week. Have an awesome, amazing Shabbos. Take care.